What's good, everybody? My name is Alckemy. Welcome to the channel. Today, you and I are going to be taking a look at Minimal Audio's latest effect plugin called Flex Chorus. Now, whether or not this is a flex is going to be up to you. I'm going to be giving you a sound demo and talking about, just the different things that it has to offer. They did not pay me for this plugin, but they did send it to me. I do own everything that comes out from Minimal Audio, and to be honest with you, I don't mind doing reviews with them because, well, if you see my channel, I use Flex Chorus on just about everything, and I also have a preset pack available for current in particular. So Flex Chorus, it's a chorus, right? And you might have 50 million different choruses, and what would be the difference about why you would choose this one over something else? Now, the number one thing that I actually want to mention with why I actually mess with all of Minimal Audio stuff is because they have really good quality of life features that are built into every single effect that they have. So whether you have Rift, Fuse Compressor, Flex Chorus, the Reverb, whatever, all of these have a built-in soft and hard clipper. And that alone is more than enough incentive to want to at least experiment with this, because if you know me, I love to work with distortion, and that I can utilize this to, push a sound really hard. The other thing that is just a really awesome quality of life thing is stuff like a multiband. So we have a high pass and a low pass that you can utilize in which to control the signal, which means that I don't have to create a parallel chain in which to, try to have a clean signal and then not mess with the lows or something like that. So regardless of how this sounds, for me personally, just having those kinds of things really makes the plugin feel that much more modern. One thing with this is that it has a lot of voices, up to 24. It also has a cool little glass style that we'll be covering here in a second. And then you can also technically turn this into a phaser slash flanger if you turn the width all the way down, which I'll be showing you in a second. But one thing is that this does offer a lot more customization, say from something like even the Chorus Plus, which I actually really like in its own right. Now, does that mean that if you have Chorus Plus that you never need another Chorus plugin again? Only that's something that you can decide. But even though this has 4 different algorithms built into it, none of these have that high pass, none of these have that clipping that's built into it. I didn't realize this, but you also cannot nest devices within the Chorus Plus. So that's interesting. Anyways, I have a very simple triangle wave. So let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on and see what it can do. I'm going to leave this at 100% wet. I'm going to turn some stuff. We're going to be doing some experimental sound design with just this, and then I'm going to add a fuse compressor to it because I add fuse compressor to everything. And then you can be the judge to see if this is worth it or not to you. Let's start with the triangle wave and turn this on. So here's what we're working with so far. Let's maybe dial it down to something a little bit easier and turn this into smooth. Now the mod depth controls how much this is working with. If you turn this all the way down, you'll see that it's stagnant. So this is one way that you can kind of just get like a typical static sound, which doesn't really make that much of a difference even if you change the time. If you mess with the feedback, you can see that it's going to start to create a smear. Now we are having something that kind of sounds like a diffusion reverb, but it's kind of metallic, which is kind of cool. And what's neat about this is that you can actually utilize this, especially if you use a randomizer or something on the outside in Bitwig to create some weird and wonky. Yeah, it sounds like Super Mario. So when you turn this on, if we turn the width all the way down, then this will start to create our flanger. So let me go ahead and set this to a pad. You can hear it kind of tearing through, which is pretty nice. Let's go ahead and set this to 4 voices. Let's go ahead and jump all the way to 24. And since it's already starting to sound a little glassy, let's go ahead and change that as well. We can utilize this in either multi-band or a filter mode to where we can set this into a bandpass. So we can move that. And obviously all of these have CCs, so you can control that. We can change the rate to be a little bit higher. And as you can see, this is just how the chorus is fluctuating. So if we change the mod depth to say like here, which is kind of cool. And if we add that feedback to it, it's going to sound kind of like a spooky reverb. maybe a little bit more. Let's go ahead and make that wide. Pretty nice. Let's go ahead and open this back up, and we are going to make this a little bit more percussive now. And what's cool is that if you kind of abuse this with changing the mod depth and whatnot to maybe something that is a little less width, change this here and maintain a sense of feedback. Let's go ahead and go back to 2 voices. Then sometimes you can get some really cool stuff, like creating weird kinds of like percussive stuff almost. So check this out. That's really cool. Let's go ahead and turn the clipping on and set this to like 8 voices. These are just some use cases of which I would use something like this. It does make respaces sound really nice. So let's go ahead and pull up a more complicated patch, maybe something from my Requiem 2 kit. I like Corrupted Capybara. Don't ask. But if we turn the detuning up, let's go ahead and turn this off for a second. This will sound like this. So what we can do is add some high pass to this, say about here, and then we can turn this down. Now we can turn this back on. I don't know if you can tell or not, but that made that a lot wider. We're going to move the time back here and maybe reduce the feedback. So obviously it's really nice at making the whole thing sound much bigger. And something that I appreciate about minimal audio plugins in general is that it usually makes stuff sound a lot bigger. So I mean, let's go ahead and run that back without it. So take a listen. Now let's go ahead and turn the filters on and see what we can do just with the chorus and see if we can get some really nice phasing. So actually, since this is closed, let's go ahead and just kind of mess with some of these sounds here. I'm going to turn this up to 100% and let's see what that does. So now let's go ahead and turn the flex chorus on. That's pretty sick. We can reduce the dry wet a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and add the fuse compressor to this. This is just something that I do on everything. Fuse compressor, I've also got a review on if you're interested in that. This is like my modern version of OTT. I tend to be quite fond of it. Let's go ahead and see if we can make the sound even bigger. Yeah. You can see that we can make it more metallic by kind of slowing this down. Yeah, I love the way that the movement, that this captures the movement and makes that like weird stuff kind of pop through. So we can change this back into smooth style, and then let's see if we can end up, I'm gonna pull the bassy off of this and see if we can just get a regular Reese. So there we go. And you can already hear it because I can already hear it. But if you listen to this, then we can actually turn this into something that's kind of like a flanger if you put the width all the way back to the bottom. So I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's going, which sounds really cool. Maybe we can make it a little bit faster. Now that might not sound all that interesting whenever you play this, but whenever you start to play it through the pitch bending and stuff, then sometimes when it tears through those mid highs, it sounds really nice. So and then if you add some more distortion, say with something like a rift, of course I'm going to keep this minimal audio themed other than Faceplant itself, but you can add just a little bit of drive to this, not too much, but just a tad, and with this we can kind of see if that will bring that out a little bit more. Now, of course, I love like basses and stuff, but you all know me for, you know, making all different kinds of crazy stuff and whatnot. But as you can see, it's relatively versatile. I like the way that it sounds. And again, we have the clipping that's built into it. It also has the filtering stuff, so I can only focus on the frequencies that I want to. And as a sound design tool, like there's a reason why I mess with minimal audio. As you can see, it's nice. It's nice. So right now there's an intro price for 29 bucks. You can also subscribe to their full access thing. They also have, I think, like a trial version of their full access thing, so you can try all their plugins out at once. But yeah, this originally came from Current, which I think that they actually developed Current first and had all the effects, and then they decided to break it apart, which I think is a really smart idea. But before you go and purchase anything, I don't have any affiliate links. I would definitely give this a try, see if it's something that fits for you and your repertoire. Don't listen to me. I make a very specific kind of sounds. I make very specific kinds of sounds. I know how to, you know, work with plugins and whatnot. So you need to see how this works with your sounds. But other than that, I do like it. And thank you, Minimal Audio, for, you know, allowing me to try out your stuff. I'm really excited to see what you all are doing next. And let me know in the comments whether or not Flex Chorus is for you. I'll see you on the next one.